Good evening. Welcome to SG3 here. We got the casual boots tournament going on between Rozalyndis and Soyhr of Group Z. And as you can see, they're off and running. We'll get that synced up in just a second here. I'm Scrupulous. Secretly, a Sliver will be with me in just a second. Missed the house here. Heart container. Okay, so it's casual boots. You get boots and a sword to start, and you got to do the escape sequence. So, at least till first 5 minutes go by, will still look a lot like the vanilla game.
Hello, everyone. I am secretly a Sliver, and my internet is very slow.
Yeah, I got an intro for you. Quick and easy. There's a bottle, so we can turn that in once we get to Kakariko. But yeah, Roz and Soyhr. My thing here, I wanted to see this, so I'm here. But this is a race. One of these you don't want to see anybody lose. Like, these are two high quality people. These are two very, very good runners, very competent. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. I wouldn't even begin to guess. So stay tuned.
Yeah, both very soft-spoken, chill runners that are just a delight to hang around. I just like to lurk in their streams just because it's a very, very low stakes, chill environment.
I play Rozalyndis here and there on the ladder. Soyhr just was in the group of the Kabuki tournament for. We no major spoilers, but we had very close finishes. One of which was like 15 seconds or something, and then that's 80 keys. So there you go.
Yeah, I think I've played Roz a couple times on ladder, and she destroyed me the first time, and then I think I got to rematch her and ended up winning.
So we're seeing some bombs here. Looks like maybe the green guard ropes are in the full bomb pack.
Yep.
So that'll be nice.
Yeah, like Kaz Boots, you always have the bonk rocks outside of CAC to fill up on that, but it's always nice to not have to worry about it also.
Both runners going full swingy on ball and chain guard, and you can see not too far apart from each other here at the halfway point of escape. So we'll see when the divergence starts. So far,
yeah,
pretty similar.
Both runners a couple hearts down too, so they're not going to lose time to each other. It's just like tiny little get hits here and there. This game is really good at just chipping you down. All right, what do we say about escape? Except, I wish it was raining here.
They really put some thought into it, didn't they? Back in the '90s, early '90s. Maybe they started in the '80s developing. I'm not actually sure, but
I believe they actually did. Because I think Link to the Past was in production even when Zelda 2, like before Zelda 2 came out. And then I know it was originally supposed to be an NES title, but then they decided to release the SNES when they did.
what I was getting at is we see a lamp there. Now we already have a light cone because it's standard start. We're not that masochistic, but now we have one for the rest of it, and we can light torches. Anyway, one of those little fine details I just always enjoy whenever I see. I just play this game, and you hear the rain on the roof. Okay, so it's muffled. But if you get one floor under the roof, that's when it quits. So this was all done purposely, and at this point in time, you know, these weren't things you really expected to see out of games. This kind of attention to detail. So I always like that one. Mirror there.
The game just likes to laugh at us. Well, we could have given you to this 2 checks earlier, but we decided to make you run instead.
Yeah, it is always a good day whenever you get part of Zelda Cell or at Zelda Cell. So save a minute. So I was in front here just by about 7 seconds or so.
Yeah, Sawyer's stayed back in the snake room to farm some bombs.
You see that here, 5-2. So I missed desert, but we got crystals at the other ones.
It's just regular crystals on everything.
Okay, and then flippers here in Blanc Rocks already, so we'll be looking for money.
Like Ra's skipping Lumberjack Ledge, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I expected you might see some stuff like this here today, because, you know, the runners, they know each other too, and you might see...
And yep, Sawyer following in her footsteps, because he watches Raz too.
And there's that other map check, but yeah. You might also see some instances where somebody will do something maybe just a little out of character to look for a little advantage here and there, but...
I'm not sure that it's out of character. I'm pretty sure she skipped it in game 1 as well.
Well, just as time goes on. And I didn't catch the first game, but I do know... yeah, this is their second. I guess I won't say who won the first one, unless you want to. But...
yeah, Raz took the first one by a little over a minute. Sawyer was just getting to phase 4 on Ganon when Raz finished.
So nice and close, of course. With the mirror there, you can just kick your blocks out into oblivion. Bombs in a box, no concerns anymore about those.
I was getting a little close to that bomb for my liking, but didn't seem to hurt it anything. Ooh, with the palette swap, I couldn't tell which rod that was. Okay, Tracker just marked it as ice rod.
Ice, yeah. Thought it was ice, and then I saw Sawyer's come up looking a little red. The screen's weird, but it's like 2 pixels difference on the game screen or something. If you're not looking at colors, it's hard.
Why? Sawyer, you're killing me, dude. Oh yeah, I think that guarantees the TR's pendant, because we don't. Well, I guess we haven't found any medallions. Never mind, we just did.
Yep.
Okay, so TR is almost definitely a pendant now, because we're not going to be searching everywhere in the game for something.
It's probably ether too. But yeah, the odds. We like to say the odds with the ice rod being early, but they do go way up whenever the don't have any pendants here in the light world. So almost 50%.
Is this tournament for casuals? Yes, this tournament is open to everyone. There are casual players in here, and there are competitive players. The Casual Boots tournament name, though, refers to the mode. So Casual Mode refers to starting sword and standard start, and Boots, of course, refers to Boots start.
When I started playing, I had to ask some people, like, what does this even mean? And I didn't really understand it for a while, but yeah, it doesn't really
Oh,
apply.
well, Houlihanning, okay. This is an interesting decision here.
This is the easiest way to do when you have flippers. You can't do a splash kick out anymore. There's a couple other ways to do it, but bomb jump across the tomb gap. Game thinks you're somewhere else, I guess. But it's a good call with those flippers.
Chat also saying that Roz skipped Bottle Merchant, which... Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. You see the flippers, you want to push for Zora. That's a choice you can make, yeah. You don't see a lot of it, but I've seen it a couple times.
Like, it's not something I would do necessarily, but, like, I can see the thought process. You know, you're very, very likely going to take the CAC portal at some point, and you can just get the merchant then.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Damagina plays on both sides. I'll love to see it.
Of course, every time
people...
I can't get bottled under, usually for lack of money. Every time. When that is, there's always something good there. But I'm not playing, so it'll be alright.
Too many people leave my boy Gino all by himself. Oh, Soyhr, that dash wasn't worth it. I thought you were going to Saha.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Maybe so did he. It's hard to say, and then change his mind.
I guess he's like 350 away, so like no matter what, he needs a 300. It's not like he's almost there. Whereas Roz, like at 430, I'm almost wanting to like go into Eastern just to get the little rupee room at the back. Just to guarantee that sort of money.
Yeah, you'd want to try to avoid it without a bow. What'll happen here is you'll see.
Oh, I couldn't see that. Was that a hook shot?
Yes.
Still can't see it.
Hook shot mushroom. Yeah, since the money isn't shown up yet, if Roz really has to, and you expect this, you'll see the lift of the rock by Ice Rod Cave and just go in and out a few times. Trip count reduced by 1 here now with that 20. And of course, the question is, do you do it first? Because you save yourself a few screen transitions if the money is in Ice Rod Cave. If it's not, you got to go back in to set up your water walk or whatever. But I mean, I guess you don't have to with flippers here, but
it's still somewhat faster to dash to the guy under the bridge. Although Soyhr, actually, I know Soyhr is a big fan when he has the mirror of just skipping guy under the bridge. And just leaving it for the pod dip.
you know, I would do that, except every time I walk past that thing, I forget about it.
Yeah, I just always have to do it, because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget about it. Alright, he's going up. Oh, that's a good point. Should check your stun prize, but then again, there's not really much that you can stun between here and Zora, so alright, 300 bucks.
Very well synced pickups, but Roz had a little bit of an indecision, so a second or two difference now. It's just fun when it happens post-start. But we got the 300.
Oh, okay, I see. No? I thought Roz was maybe taking the mushroom and then going to Zora, because otherwise I'm not sure if all this money saving makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Zora if I have that money like right there, but that's funny that we're seeing this.
Yeah, double LJL check.
Yeah, and then they're going to go up the mountain, but they're both doing it. Sharing the brain cells here on SpeedGaming.
Yeah, I don't mind the mountain play on Sawyer's side necessarily, but because you just got that money and you didn't spend how long setting up to get it, but
And plus, he is still a little short, and that'll be when you get screwed out of a few bucks trying to mess around up there. But
right, and we already have eyes on at least one other 300, and then we just got eyes on another one, so
trying to see if they're looking at the Dark World like you were talking about going that way for Hobo, but I mean, maybe some of it is having the mirror and you can do catfish at the same time. I don't know. That's a pearl, so gonna want that pretty quick. So that thing I just said about doing catfish along with the rest of Soyhr could well be possible here. I just need to see some Mr. Hammer or something. Or I was going to try the triple space jump here. Knows what she's doing better than I do, because
who needs fancy lineups?
Well,
not Roz.
That was lined up the way I've seen it done. I think Soyhr knows it too. I did it some goofy way once and managed to get it, and I never got it again. So we got a green pendant turtle rock. The other ones are swamp and mire, and I didn't catch the reds, but everything else is a crystal.
All right, so this might be a quick one. No mire, no TR.
Yep, we could possibly get out of here without a cane or a flute. The cane would
man,
be...
whenever I get these caneless seeds, I'm always clenching all the way through ET.
Yeah, when it's happened to me, all but one has required the cane, and we ran into it anyway. The last one I did not require, or no, it did require cane. But we didn't have to find it. One of these days, we're going to have to go digging for the thing.
Okay, Ron's just going to the basement, because I think because the guy got in the way. And then Soyhr attempting to hairpot, but got flipped out for some reason. I think Soyhr wanted to climb the tower. Oh no, Soyhr. In jail with 2 hearts.
So you can take them. Well, now you got to really watch for the mini moldworms after this. I'm guessing he's poking the blocks because he really doesn't want to spin here and get hit somehow.
Unfortunate.
What I'm afraid of. Oh, yeah, fairy. Okay.
And not the place you wanted to use it for sure, but
Better than redoing tile room, I guess. There's a big key down here. Yeah, I wasn't paying too close attention, but I was like thinking, like, yeah, maybe these runners just don't want to chance the idea of missing.
I mean, at least there's an item here. Oh, Soyhr, you messed up, and he knows it. Yep. So actually, if you do the spin speed thing that Ross was trying to do earlier, you can actually clip into the pot, but I'm not sure how much Soyhr has practiced that.
Yeah.
And just going the long way because he's out of bombs.
The trick is wacky. The funny thing is I learned it first, so it's like what I'll do if I can, but I really can't explain it to anybody. It's just a matter of timing.
I could say the same thing about Moldorm as he knocks Roz off the platform.
Yeah,
I can't really explain how I know his movements, and just do.
Well, the only thing I know about Moldorm is when Moldorm goes straight for long enough, like there's a maximum straight line distance on the dude, and then he has to turn. That's the only thing I know. So you can count on that.
He also aggroes to Link's position every 5 movements, but the 5 movements are random in direction and duration, so You just kind of have to get a feel for how like the average Molnar move happens and figure out when he's changing directions versus bonking into a pit.
So, like what Ross tried for the final hit, I want to call this out, is you can dash through the head if you're just anything that isn't pixel perfect on center. Like, there's a couple instances you can block, but most of the time you'll go right through and hit the tail. She just canceled it because Mulder moved out of the way, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah, it might depend on pixel position, but when I was taught about it, it's that the sword tanks make Link's hitbox go wonky, and that's why it can't hit you.
Yeah. But a pretty good fight here from Soyhr, so not too far apart. Once again, crystal apiece. I always tried spinning with Fighter Sword because that's all you have in vanilla, and I'm like, well, it does double damage like it does to everything else, and I had to play rando and get yelled at on restream to learn that it doesn't work like that. So yeah, I was getting hit in the back for no reason, but
yeah, sometimes you just have to play rando and get yelled at to learn stuff. Oh. Unfortunate for Roz there. I think she was 1 pixel too high to get the free setup, but that pixel still would have worked for the bomb jump. So there is a free setup right there that she just did, where if you nudged like onto that proper corner, that it just spits you out of both sides of the pit, and it's easier to set up the bomb jump. I think she was just a little too high the first time through.
I used to do this a lot more. You see this very oxygen-deprived shopkeeper here that Soyhr is visiting for some bombs, and rightfully so. It's
yeah, that's good situational awareness. Like I probably only visit that shopkeeper if I'm exactly on 1 bomb when I'm here. So
yeah, because you might need 2 upstairs if you don't have something to toss it to switch. Here we have an ice rod, but a lot of times bombs are all you got, and you need 2 to do the full thing. So still looking for some Dark World here, and Roz wants Zora now, which makes sense. Another option is your 6 up to 6, I guess, items in Eastern, 5 or 6. It's beneficial, we'll say, that we don't have a way into Aghanim 1 right now.
For now.
Would be for me. I don't like going there before I have to.
Yeah, there are situations in which I will do Aga 1, but when you have a glove and a pearl, I think you just try to hang out and wait for another Dark World piece.
It was actually this tournament I was playing somebody the other day, and had to. We both went to Eastern looking for a hammer, that 1 piece, right, and didn't find it, and of course we were close, and we both thought the other one didn't do Eastern. We both did it, but a lot of runners.
There's our Aga access.
Yeah, I was trying to dull the curse there a little, but didn't work. I don't know. I kind of tried to pay attention to some people who make these calls and being like, okay, so if you have Eastern and Aga left and you pick Aga and it's wrong, like, what do you really lose? And what can you do to make up for it? And those are things that I haven't really been able to answer yet. But the one guy I saw did it. Didn't turn out too bad at the end. You probably do have to make some skips.
Yeah, Roz just, I guess shouting out the free bonk setup for the fake flipper, and then, or just not realizing that she had flippers. Okay, well.
So early mushroom does what it really, really loves doing. So guess we're not going to need Aga for much. There's a chance of Pyramid Fairy, I guess, but we have ways around that. Oh, we have flippers, so it doesn't even matter. We can do that normally.
Sawyer about to get his Master Sword, and I wonder if he's going to turn in that mushroom. So that mushroom was available off the jump, so that means it's just a straight 25% to be required. And I'm wondering if he's gonna look bagging him. Roz, meanwhile, straight to Dark Death Mountain. Okay, he will turn in the mushroom. That's good.
Yeah, it's a good call. I think we've all played enough Rando to know what the mushroom loves to do. There's your fire rod. And I was going to say, coming up here again this early, it's probably not a bad idea with the pendant layouts we got, because if you come back and you have a cane and you feel compelled to get into a potentially accessible TR, which may have nothing, like you just don't want to do that to yourself. If you can help it. Like Soyhr wants to do the same thing, so look here.
Yeah, it looks like I think chat has a good point. I think all we need is a bow and a hammer. Which
I haven't even dug into that.
Which the hammer can only be in a certain amount of places. I think it's only like 189 places. And we've already checked the majority of them.
Yeah, the medallions are only for any required items that might be in those 2 dungeons. So yeah, it'll be GT mode at that point.
Actually, I think it might be 189 in entrance shuffle. It's definitely a lot less in regular stuff, because there's 27 checks in GT, none of which can be the hammer.
I'm not sure if Roz popped over to TR like Sawyer's going to do here. Just for the heck of it.
Yeah, for me, I don't care what that medallion is.
So yeah, that's a Quake knowledge on then one side. And yeah, hopefully we don't need it. But...
Sawyer does always like to say that knowledge is power, but I don't always have to agree with them.
I do it because I like to think it's you're here now and it's hard to get back to. But if you think the seed is quick, like it's kind of looking, then maybe you're served by not having those 2 extra screen transitions.
Favorite trolley hammer location? I don't know, just like behind a million fetch quests. Like a book to go to Ether Tablet to get a mushroom to get powder to have to mirror to Magic Bat, something like that.
Let me tell you about my bow the other day. So we had a bow and pod in Harmless Hellway as right side locked, okay? That's silver as well. Of course, we got that one. The other one, you had to go get Pyramid Fairy through a couple other dungeons, one of which was TR. You had to go into Mire and do cutscene for a book. You had to go to Bombo's Tablet. That was your first bow. I went and dug it after the match. Just, wow. So just some arrows here. So Ice Rod is dead? Yes, Ice Rod is dead.
I don't know if you remember, but did you have two small keys on right side pod? Because otherwise that bow is accessible.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
But, unless Green Pendant. I was going to say Green Pendant might have. I hope not. I really do.
Yeah, because a bow in Harmless Hellway is only locked by 5 keys. Alright, I think we're just gonna have. They're both gonna dungeon rush for a little bit until they clear out their crystals, and I think they're just pretty much gonna follow each other. I was having a little trouble with that mummy, but gets it into the spike.
I haven't actually heard this before. Big Giant Circles Collection. I have no idea what that is, but I need to look into it because
Yeah, it sounds good.
tunes.
I've heard her use this before, I'm pretty sure. Or I've heard other people use this before, I just didn't know what it was called. Oh, Big Giant Circles is an artist. Okay.
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like a work, but I wonder what this stuff typically goes to. I'll look into it.
Shout out to our tracker Legendary Moon with the info.
We need it back. Okay. Well, that'll give you some credentials to speak to, won't it? I had no idea, but I'm gonna have to look it up.
Mooney also need the MSU pack. Okay.
Because I now see
Oh,
the Moth Shield, which must have been 2 items, because they're done. Okay, so Moon, you got me now, because are you talking the Flash game? Because I have way too many hours in Binding of Isaac. Both of them, actually. I did not know that. I was thinking, well, the original is mostly Danny B, but something new every day. Binding of Isaac.
yeah.
Global emote there. Thank you for that, whether you meant to or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ped has died. I mean, with Meyer and TR being the pendants, it was pretty much killed anyway.
It's nice to have there ahead of having to do that. See what?
Yeah, I actually like Soyr's route a little more. Like it's a little more aggressive. I think Roz is a little too careful with those 2 mirror checks there. Nice muffins dash there by Soyhr. 100% worth it. Saves 10 million years. Nice. Sawyer's not afraid of the thief either. I see a bunch of I see people do a bunch of weird stuff to get from chess game to the brewery, and really, if you have boots, all you have to do is just dash past the guy and take that path through the bench. Because even if he does the quick movement, then he'll get stuck on the bench and he can just run away. We are indeed hammer and bow for go mode.
Hope mode.
Well, hope mode, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I can do 7 crystals without Samaria, I'm taking that chance 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, it usually works out that way. You get what's on your way, which for whatever reason usually winds up being Ice Palace. Then you got to do it the long way, but get what you can. Maybe it shows up. Maybe you need it. Probably would, skip things like iced tea, but.
See, I'm gonna push back on that, chat. I hope we don't get a Sword or Silvers. I love seeing a good Master Sword Silverless. I actually prefer the Master Sword Silverless fight to the one with Silvers, because I can never get the right timing on the warp to turn him blue, because I've beaten my muscle memory so much that I can't get blue hits on spins on Ganon.
There is something properly climactic to having a final boss act like a final boss. And, if you play a vanilla game, you're overpowered by then. But, yeah, here you get a chance to have yourself a good fight in a race. And
Oh, that's aggressive. Did we find 4 items? Does she know that's nothing?
yeah, I see chat counting better
Okay.
than I am, so I'm going to go with that. That is something I'm going to have to write down for blind script. What she just did there. Yeah, get beat up a little here. And a dash to finish it, so. Crisis averted. Crystal number 3 in hand. The first 2 phases are pretty nice.
Yeah, it looked like she was spamming her sword a little too much on the 7th hit, but didn't die. That's the most important.
Okay. Making sure the D-pad works.
So we're also finishing off with a dash, which is something I've never seen outside of Rando.
Yeah, I picked that up at some point where it's like, just come on, let's get done. And yeah. Maybe you glance ahead on the way in and you clink off it. That's usually how it works, if it works.
Alright, Roz wants to do Smith Chain. Let's see if Soyhr also wants to do Smith Chain.
Yeah, shovel. Well, fills in at least one item. We can't. Well, we could. No, we can't do magic pad any which way, but we can do everything else, including Bombo's tablet. Forgot about hammer pegs. Can't do that either. But game can always be a little interesting whenever you get a late hammer like that. Almost like, you're supposed to get the hammer first or something crazy like that. But odds are it's in pod, and that's the furthest away from where you can get at it from. So
Yeah, what even is the vanilla location for hammer? In pod? That sucks.
Yeah.
Who would ever play the vanilla game?
So something about being able to come from pyramid instead of Kakariko. So I guess it's a little nice, that vanilla business. Roz here now. For anybody who doesn't know, can leave the purple chest behind. As your very next mirror, you are considered to have it for whether it's a certain period of time or a screen or whatever it is. So you just mirror somewhere near this guy and you're good.
Yeah, it's definitely a period of time. I don't know how long it is. I've heard like you can time it with your iframes, but I also think it's longer than that.
It's pretty forgiving. I know when I learned it, and a couple other people I know too, we thought we had to be like within interaction range, and so we learned what that is. But you don't have to be that close. But nothing on his chain, as it were. The parts that we could do. Soyhr into Hype Cave. I mean, we have Temper Sword. I guess that's nice. Blue Mail. So some offense, some defense among our rats. Shout out to SNES, otherwise known as Super Nintendo Chalmers. That cracks me up. Good name. If it's not a Super Nintendo Switch by next year, it's lost opportunities. That's all I'm saying.
So they've already used Super, they've already used U, and they've already used New on the DS system.
It'll be Super Nintendo Switch, or it'll be just some wacky name.
I think it'll be the Nintendo 4K or whatever. Go back to the number naming convention.
Yeah, that works when you're first to market, I think. But they would try it.
That's true.
How about the Switch 2000? Would that work?
That might work.
Yeah, that's future. So book in the desert because we can, but nothing.
Sega
here.
had the Genesis. What if the Nintendo then puts out the Exodus?
Exodus, where everybody leaves. Yeah, could happen. It's funny because a lot of people don't think about this these days, but you know how Nintendo had two systems for a while? And they just kind of put all their chips into one by turning the console into a handheld. Well, can't do that again, so good luck. Meantime, we'll just hack ROMs over here. So in the desert, just a door opening apart, and doors without knowledge, of course, is just a little behind each one of these steps here. Is going to have to come up with something. He doesn't know that, but sometimes there's things you can do on your own that give you the hint that Yeah, maybe I need to make a move here or there. I don't know that Soyhr has a lot of those, though. Everything here seemed pretty kosher in general. I noticed chat mentioning before about the mirror spot to go back to from Bombos. So Soyhr didn't do that. We'll have to do it a different way here. You may choose to... Okay, I guess gone back in for an item here that you might not have gotten.
All right, what I missed?
Just a couple of worm murders. Nothing spectacular. Soyr's back in, I guess. Legendary Moon must have got 2 items because he's going to get into the swamp here now. And Soyr's still looking for this other one. Or she didn't get 2 items. I'm not actually sure. Just as ruling it out.
Might have done right side first.
So yeah, that's it for that. Because yeah, I expect you to be doing something different if it were anything good. Soyhr will start at the house, and I guess... I don't know. This is going to be our... looks like maybe our first big chunk of divergence here. Yeah, Roz went into swamp looking just for the hammer in the front because we're here, and that, in certain situations, can be an indicated play. It takes a minute to get in there, so you got to think about it. I do like it here. We can get past the front without the hammer, but it won't be past because of that natural requirement to have it. It can be in the bomb wall, though.
Okay, Berna at Saha, that gives Spike Cave access.
Yeah, and you do think about that a little, typically, when it's where it is. Because
especially since we've full cleared the mountain. At least as much as we want to clear it. Hammer, right.
Yeah, Roz.
I just kind of assumed they had found it.
It seems like you get through Thieves without it, you are going to be hunting. Just that's the one thing I prefer. It doesn't happen in my rando seeds, but Soyr's going to try Eastern, just in case.
Yeah, I like doing pod like Roz is over just Eastern.
Yeah,
like if you want to do Eastern, you can just mirror to it.
Yeah, for sure. Soyr's issue is he did Hype Cave over Bombo's tablets, so didn't have a quick way to get back there, and he'd have to get back to Kakariko and all that. So this could happen, but Randomizer generally tends not to put all the Dark World stuff that early. Nothing saying it can't be here again, but you know, and for Roz's side of things, you like to have one of those 2 items, a bow or hammer, before going in there, but it's not playing that way, and it still makes more sense than going to ice, which we could also do. But that's why I don't like any of this, because it's just nothing you like here.
Yeah, ice hammerless is just big feels bad.
And gainless. And there it is. Just in the front. Roz took that little second to think, well, what do I do now? But we'll hang out in here for a little bit. See what turns up.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I'm just out of here and into Ice Palace, but Bo could easily just be here too.
Yeah.
No, it was the bow, not the. Oh, okay, gotcha. Got it.
Hammer and bow.
Oh.
Yeah, it could be. No potions, no fairies, so we're gonna see some mimic clipping here.
Oh wow. I've never seen Mimic Clip done this way. I've always seen it like people just grab the wall.
Yeah, that's interesting. I get it.
I guess that frees up your second hand for the one frame presses.
Yeah, it's basically losing a buffer, but I mean, if you can do it. Actually, I think she does have a fairy. It's just if you're confident in it, you do it as fast. That's good. So.
All right. Well, Vicky is bow locked. Yeah, with the knowledge that Big Key is bow locked, I'm not sure I stay now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought maybe was going on in the head here. Just like, maybe I should dip out. If you find the big key anywhere but there, yeah, okay. But
if it's in the back, then like, fine, sure. But if you know that it's bow locked, that means that you know that there's a bow at large somewhere.
I'm guessing this is going to be, there's a number of things here, some of which are potentially
that's right. Everything
required.
is bow locked.
Oh yeah, because of the hammer in the front. But I was going to say, regardless, the big key is kind of one of those things that's the only reason you look around in the dungeon anyway, because you have to, being a crystal. But now that you have the big key, it's like, well, now what? But we could run into a couple things here, so most people will stay. Kane's in here and you need it, or whatever. So.
Well, if Kane's in here and you just like leave to go to Ice Palace, then you're just like committing to the fact that you'll never have Kane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure some of it is called, well, we already walked here, we already did half, but it's, that's nice. Except for now you might have to go to Myers. Hopefully you don't, but it's nice to have.
I think Bo puts you in GT, so I don't think Myers in the plans. The Kane can be required for GT.
Vanilla Meyer
and a scarily large contingent of rando players think that the Kane of Samaria also locks Ice Palace, which is just straight up wrong.
Well, depending on who you ask, if you come in here without it in a race, you're losing, like I typically do. I don't worry about the Kane too much, but it costs me just enough time, typically. But at this stage, Roz being here makes sense. You gotta look at Pyramid Ledge, though. And this is out of the way unless you're doing Agus, so... This has made her broken some things in the past.
Oh, baby! We got a race!
Yeah. This spot, man.
Baby!
The funny thing is, I think, just
Alright, well, it all depends on where this other bow is.
Yeah, so for the purposes of a randomizer, because we had Aga accessible, that might move it up a few spears, and I guess that means very little other than maybe that's, actually the first one, and for sure, and then the other
well, we had MITS access and flippers, so that's what puts it in logic.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I think where it is in the spheres means you can suss out kind of where the other one might be, but because it was just in GT, then I don't know. Roz is getting to Pyramid.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard last locate for Roz if it's in GT. The question is, how much does Soyhr clear now looking for Kane? Because you get Hammer here, and then you obviously finish the dungeon once you find Big Key on right side, but do you go back in trying to find a Kane?
Yeah, this is a situation I Can't say I wouldn't. I mean, I would probably do the rest of pod first, but that's tough. I mean, this is kind of a long one if you are looking to get done.
And like add on to that there are 20 checks in GT, most of which can be the Canis Samaria.
Hmm.
And it could just literally be on the climb. So after lagging about 2 to 3 screens behind the whole race, Soyhr just rockets out to a nice lead here, but could go away at any time.
Time, I'll say time would tell, but really Rando would tell. A lot does depend on that cane, but being able to go into pod only once that's big. So yeah, wasn't counting items, but I was gonna say yeah. So even if that isn't 3, that is a big commitment to get back to iced tea here for any reason, but it might be 3. I'm not actually sure. A little bit of fire rod duping there. It's nice when you can walk in here with full health. One of those times you actually want the beans. And that, yeah, blink you miss it. So if anybody else is counting items, but yeah, I guess that was probably 3 maybe.
She's been pretty good at counting items for this whole seed. I'm sure she's not just leaving something behind for no reason.
Yeah, I just, even in this situation, if it was something nice to you with a switch flip, it would be hard to justify going back upstairs for.
Well, at least we know Kane's not in GT.
Something about Ice Palace logic then is, I don't know, but
Small key dropped off of cold stairs.
Oh,
that
yeah,
means
yeah.
It's Mario locked.
I guess that is the easy one.
This has to be the pyramid check here, otherwise I don't know why Roz is going this way. This has to be like pyramid into catfish or something.
Yeah, I don't think she's got much else fantastic, so.
Yeah, I think that was the thought process behind just like go to pod, right? You know, and you've got pyramid and catfish and what else? And it feels less bad if you do pyramid and catfish in the same thing rather than just going to catfish.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, we're skipping that quite readily here, being as that bow was there, so.
Did Roz never activate the flute? Oh no! Roz, no!
Yeah, I've definitely lost it in the chain of things to do when it's fairly late like that. Of course, now I'm thinking, did she ever turn in the bottle vendor to go with that? I'm not so sure. I don't even remember what was there. Oh, she did, okay. Probably nothing, but...
Oh, yeah, she did do bottle vendor right before going into Skullwoods. Which is kind of why thought that she initially skipped it. Thought like why she initially skipped it.
I just knew me. I tell myself do something later. Well, yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, do something later to me is this is never happening.
But no more armors, and that's 5 for Soyhr here now. 6, actually. Correction.
Yep, just needs to do Ice Palace, but it's a little closer than it looks because I mean Roz is gonna clear most of Eastern here. Probably will full clear it, to be honest, but
Yep, I had to go back in the pod, but she's already done with it, so it's just
yeah, she already did everything.
trip down here. Got to do Eastern. Sawyer's doing ice. Roz already did ice, so yeah, this I'm not gonna try and count this out just yet. This is gonna be something. But your sub hour go, which is common enough in boosts, but not so common that it's the biggest deal when it happens. It just means you might have to. Well, like Soyhr here, yeah, we'll see this. They'll probably clear. I don't know. Like, might do freezer room, but might do anything. Might do that room.
Oh, he's not even doing Pengator room. He's locked in. I love it. I love the aggression.
Yeah, especially in a tournament setting. Yeah, if you do something like that, lose by 5 seconds, you're not going to live it down. So, and if the cane's there, I mean, the odds are so astronomical that it is.
Well, Soyhr was actually ahead going into GT on their last race, but he picked the wrong way to go for big key, and then B, he was fluffing for silvers, so he ended up losing a bunch of time just by opening chests that weren't worth it. So I wonder if that's factoring into the decision at all.
Yeah, it's likely, given all that. So that's a nice bomb jump. I'll give it.
That was a very nice bomb jump.
One shot to the pixel on the Y value.
I'd like to take credit for that, but I actually don't remember if I taught him IPBJ or not. We'll just say it looks like a common setup that I use.
So was Roz in here yet? Because I'm not actually sure where the big key was.
I don't think that she was.
No,
I think she maybe had visions on it when mirroring out of pod, and then just never went here. Yes, Soyhr does have the hammer. He has killed the Helmosaur. It's hard to do without a hammer.
When I track, that's something that I would see the first one of and totally forget the second one, because that spot is just like dumb. Like, why would anything be here? But, when there's something there, it's the hammer. So that's 7 for Soyhr. Up the mountain he goes, more than likely. Roz will have just a minute to catch up.
Yeah, if you're wondering why we're posting a bunch of numbers in chat, we have a little game we like to play. Please type a number between 1 and, I guess, 17, because that's the non-smart. I guess what we can do 1 to 22 and see if Samaria is required or not. But,
do anything over 17, you just don't like runners. And that's just the truth, so you out yourself on that one.
A lot of 8s in chat. If you think it's Hope Room, I would say 1 or 2, because that's definitely getting checked first.
And I want to say Bob. Only because I don't know what number that is going left, and it's going to be invariable, whatever it is.
Probably 14.
So
Only with Samaria and 16.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Now I see why everyone wants to shame you, AFG.
I mean, putting in the guess putting in 2 guesses, you know, that's bang for your buck. You know, you can get behind.
Well, I think that's like even more specific than a regular guess, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good payout.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the odds. Sometimes you just have a feeling. Sometimes that 16 is just going to come up. Red 16 because Samaria. I don't know how roulette wheels are numbered. Alright, Ra's also going up the mountain. Only in our hearts, AFG.
Got to turn right there. The nerves are hitting for sure, and especially in a seat like this. For me, it would be. Come on, an hour.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that quick of a go mode plus like you don't know if you need Samaria. Oh yeah, that's extra sweat.
I knew pretty quick. Like if I was playing when I saw that dark.
Oh, there it is on the torch.
Well.
All right, get out.
So you have a key. Yes. Okay.
All right. So that was number 3.
Yeah, I didn't see him go right.
Do we have any winners? We have Nintool Leica, so I'm guessing that's 9 Inch Nails Tool, and I don't know what LICA is.
Yep, you win the GT guessing game, you get to explain yourself. That's the prize.
You get you get a lifetime supply of rando seeds, redeemable at any Sahasrabot channel near you, or Head Chicken.
You know, I think you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it's Nintulica, like Metallica, but 3 other bands to go with it. And Tool, and I don't know what ICA is. That's most of it.
Yeah, they just said it's Metallica.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can read. ICA was something that would be pretty fantastic. Anywho, Roz needs her keys. We'll get it from here. And what do we got now? About 60 seconds.
Soyhr probably gave a little bit back in the recovery room, but like, yeah, if you this is the last place where you want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, the recovery room, that's a play, but I mean, yeah, if you feel good about what you've done, and Soyhr has no reason not to, it's not bad.
I mean, he did basically last locate bow slash hammer.
Oh, hammer. Well, hammer for him, bow for Roz, but
yeah, Roz unfortunately took the volume over the smart thing, which mostly works out, but unfortunately not today.
It's just, you know, like I mentioned before, it's one of those things you're looking for one or the other before you go to pod, and they're both kind of just on the way. So
sitting there. Yeah, sword beams on the climb is never fun. I think what's happening here is Sawyer's looking at the race room and deciding to just be safe and grab all of these resources since the dun isn't in yet. Now what? Now how do you deal with the top of GT here? Are you a Silvers fan or?
Depends how much of the game you've cleared. I'd probably do it here, which is
Yeah, pretty
really
much cleared everything at this
funny.
point.
Yeah,
Might as well.
Funny to say at an hour and 10, but yeah, we were able to get quite a bit. We haven't seen the Mire area, but was never gonna happen here. I was playing somebody the other day, and I had to do all GT looking for a sword. The key was early, but I still ended up winning, and so they were like, well, you found silvers, right? And I'm like, yeah, but then I realized later, well, the silvers were up top, and he just skipped them. I was ahead without silvers by about 1 second, but I didn't mention that.
Yeah, looks like Roz is a little low on magic and maybe fell down the hole. Yeah, unfortunate.
Well, it is not over, especially without silvers. Things have happened.
Ooh,
So.
10,000 IQ play by Roz there, seeing that she only has 2 arrows, so even if silvers are up here, she doesn't care.
Yeah, it is probably one of the worst feelings having silvers and simultaneously not. So it's a good call.
Okay, decent. I get 2 fight. Yeah, it was a 3. Looks like Rouse is gonna get a 3 cycle also.
Should have did the audio log. My bad. Have a Ganon fight.
Oh, we were already in go mode by the hour mark, so we never shouted out, follow these runners. They're very, they're both very good at the game.
Which you can see, because look.
Yeah, Soyhr also plays Final Fantasy stuff sometimes. As you can probably tell by the sprite. Both of their Twitch channels are their names as displayed. And I said this at the top, but like both of these are like really chill, really kind of soft-spoken streamers. Oh, unfortunate on the blue Ganon there. Low on health.
Yeah, there's nothing saying Soyhr has to get hit here, and he's not even gonna.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that he had a potion in his pocket.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna, because you give up a little time doing that. I mean, I don't know how they know where each other are at this point. I mean, it's a 45-second delay, but you like to see this when you're not playing.
Oh, good attempt on the cape spin. Unfortunately, just a little too far away. Sawyer's pig is blowing up first. Get your GGs in chat for Soyhr. Roz will not be far behind.
Not at all, and I totally lost count, so...
I think she has 1 more left.
GG to Soyhr.
I also lost count then. There we go.
That was
and there's another exploding pig. Get your GGs in chat for Roz. 2 very, very close matches.
1, 14, 14, and 34. 20 seconds. across 75 minutes here today.
All right, we will see if we can get these runners in the room here. I'm personally interested in how they stayed on each other's how they stayed in each other's footsteps the entire time.
Yeah, I'm going. They'll bring it up, but Roz is talking
Okay,
about.
Sawyer saying he needs a minute, so
Roz
it's perfectly understandable. That was very stressful.
Roz was already talking about wanting to go to the pyramid, but made a last minute call and didn't, and kind of knows it. And yeah, that's probably accurate, but there were still, especially with the 20-second finish, a lot of things that could have happened here. So.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to calm this one. I knew it was going to be another heater, so.
So look at this. Today's winner, Soyhr. GG.
GG's.
GG's. Yeah, geez.
Apparently, Roz and I are very evenly matched. Holy hell.
You all were doing the same thing the whole time.
Vampire skewers, I believe, means silvers were on Ped.
That's just sticks.
It's 10 sticks. It's 10 vampire sticks or something like that.
Silvers were swampy, so I saw that. Of course, if they're not in GT, they're in Pennant. Yeah, I guess it's Pennant Swamp today, or whatever part you don't do, but yeah.
So, Sawyer, for the first, I want to say like 40 minutes, you were lockstep, like 2 screens behind Roz doing the exact same route, and I am not even kidding.
Yeah.
So, is that because you did research, or?
No, I think it's because the seed pretty much, I don't know, going up on the mountain for the fire rod was a thing. That was more of a, well, all right, I got mitts late, let's just go up here and figure that out. I was also using that as pretty much a think spot too. And then
it was nice to be able to do. I was going to say, you guys, you were at Ice Rock Cave pretty much same time. Now, she had the money, you were a little short, but you both were like, heck with that, let's go to the mountain. And so we were like, okay.
Yeah, I'm glad that I turned in Mushroom before I went to Saha Eastern, but then I felt pretty bad when I found that bow after doing the Saha Eastern, but that was kind of rough to have to go, especially since I went south and then went north. It was really weird.
Well, I never liked mitts before hammer, because that is what happens all the time. That's where the hammer ends.
Yeah, Roz did run that way, but decided to clear the dungeon first, and yeah, that was the decider. You found the bow, and she didn't.
So she also did do swamp bomb wall, which that could be a thing. It's happened.
I have. I thought about that as I ran by it, but I was like, I don't. If I have hook shot, I'm doing all of it, and I really don't want to, because I didn't know what else I needed at that point. But then I got the bow and hammer, I got the bow on pyramid, got the hammer, and I was like, big key. And then I got the big key, and I'm going, all right, let's go. Because the race we had on Saturday was where I just overcleared and overchecked, and I didn't want that to happen again, and I'm kind of glad I did now. Roz didn't get an invite for this, by the way.
Yeah, I always wonder about that. I sent her one. I was working on it, so we'll see her here in a second.
All right. We see her now, and she's undeafened. Hi, Roz. GG.
GG's.
GG, Roz.
Holy cow, dude.
I like that our 2 races have been super tight, and this one gave me a heart attack. So,
Right?
So I'll say this again since you're just getting here. You got your Zor money right in front of Zor and went to the mountain, and so did Soyhr. Soyhr was a little short, but y'all did the same thing at the same time until right after about Thieves Town, basically. And, you know,
Yeah,
the mountain mushroom, all that.
I was mentioning, like I was on my way to the pyramid. I was going there, but then I decided, no, go back and check first, because like pyramid and catfish probably not gonna have it, or they're gonna have, like, they might have the flute or something, but
Yeah, you did get a flute. Soyhr flute was odd big, turns out, in case you're wondering, but
oh,
that's all I had to say about that. Go ahead.
oh yeah.
So-
Once I got that big key, and I was like, well, Gambine.
So on a scale from 1 to Jordan Peele, how much were you guys sweating about that Samaria?
a bit, like, so maybe 6.
I'm sweating anyways because it's like 70,000% humidity here. But about the red cane, maybe like
Yeah.
an 8, maybe like an 8. But it only blocks what 5 checks and 200 possible keys on the map. So
I was betting, like, if Samaria was indeed required for the GT Big Key, then the most likely scenario would have been my opponent would have skipped it as well.
so I had the same exact thought too.
It's funny because I did a thing a little while ago where we actually needed GT Samaria lock, you know, with Pendant, Meyer, and TR. I forget what it was exactly, but it was in Pengator room, and we just happened to get it. But sorry, you skipped it. I think Braz, you did it, but you know, yeah, we have no idea where it is. Clearly,
Yeah,
I'm actually the most curious about where the second bow ended up being, because I ended up going into Swamp just to rule out the hammer or bow being in the first chest locked that isn't locked by the hammer. And when it was the map, I decided to leave because I figured the bow isn't going to be in there. I figured it was going to be anywhere else, but
yeah, probably left side just because you don't need it.
yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't dip Swamp earlier, because since with the hook shot and Specky clip, I was like, I don't know what else I need. So if I go in, I'm going to try to do as much as I possibly can. And that was just so I just ran right by it, going, yeah, I'm just going straight to desert. I'm just going to do this crystal dungeons and call it good.
What ended up being your CR?
116. I skipped the back of Pod. I skipped the all of Ice Palace, and I did left side into Torch, and then I just went to the mountain, or went up to the climb. I checked up there just in case, but I wasn't expecting very much.
Yeah, it was 2 chests in Swamp plus the back of Pod minus a couple fluffs on the climb. I did call it out during your climb, Roz, but that was very, very good awareness, knowing you only had 2 arrows and not even bothering looking for silvers.
Mm-hmm. Like, I could have maybe done 6 hits on Ganon and then finished him off.
Yeah, it was close. Soyhr took a couple of phase 4 hits there, I think. And
My phase 4 was kind of atrocious.
I also fell down in a couple of spots. Moldorm pushed me down once, and then I fell down at Torches 2 in GT.
Did you do Tower Para Basement?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so they were telling me before you came in, for the first 40 minutes, apparently I was just 2 screens behind you. We were just doing
yeah, at that point, you guys were just
Yeah.
right there at the same, even then. So we were figuring you didn't want to leave an item upstairs. It was an item. It was $20, but You
If
know.
there hadn't been a dungeon item in the like lobby chest, I would have just gone up
Same.
and gambled that it was something else. But the fact that both items were upstairs made me not want to risk leaving something like the fire rod behind.
Yeah, that's
Well-
pretty fair. I know I've been in these things before where we've had to revisit Terra an hour later to do the basement to go upstairs to find whatever it is. So I get it.
Yeah, especially with the lack of silvers are in a flooded chest, by the way. So I don't know about that, but that's my thought process too. Is like I think we just got the pearl, we got glove, and I still hadn't found anything for Dark World access. So like anything like hammer or mitts, and then of course they're just sitting there on mushroom. So
I was hoping so hard that you gambled on Ice Palace for the hammer.
yeah, I was actually gonna be going. My plan was to go through North Dark World because I had to do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. I did Catfish for those lovely boots, and then I went south to the Pyramid. And I was like, all right. My plan was if nothing was along the way, I was going to Ice Palace before Cotton. I don't know why, but I'm glad that I didn't have to do that.
My hope was that after I found the hammer, I figured the bow was going to be outside somewhere. I was actually gambling that the second bow was in the bow because bow locked bow
Yeah.
would have been nice.
Happens a lot. I got one the other day, so
I can't wait to watch this back. Thank you very much for the restream, Sean and Scoopla.
Yes, thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
really gonna watch the one on Saturday and this one back and just kind of see what all happened because really nice races, Roz. Really, really nice.
it's entertaining. A lot of times, you know, if you see the same screen twice, it's kind of like, well, okay, so that's boring. But in this case, it's like, well, we get it. We know why. I was making comments about shared brain cells when you're going to the mountain. So yeah, that's kind of why I signed on for this because I've played you both. You know,
Yeah, with our 17-second tiebreaker in Kabuki.
I like I said, I didn't want anybody to lose here. It's just kind of the way it's set up seems. Turns out. So. But you guys are, I think, 1-1 now in your group. So,
I am 2-1.
well, between each other. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Between each other, yeah, 1-1. I, on the other hand, am 1-2 now.
Yeah. Who else you got? Because I don't remember.
I haven't fought Encosto yet.
Same. And then we both have a game left against Faker Jr., I believe, still, right, Roz?
I have one more match with Faker,
Yeah.
and my first Encosto match is tomorrow.
Nice. Good luck with that.
Alrighty, yeah. Good luck to
Yeah.
both of you
I'm gonna need it.
with your remaining 3 here apiece. And yeah, it's a good show. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sean, I'll let you. You have anything you want to look at? I don't know that there's a schedule past now for restream.
Yeah, restream. Just stay tuned to all of the Speed Gaming channels. There will be more restreams. They usually ping in the morning and then in the afternoon Eastern time. So I usually see restreams happening from about noon Eastern time to about there have been restreams at 3 a.m. Eastern time. So there's restreams happening everywhere. Just keep your eyes on the Speed Gaming channels. And yeah, thanks for coming, Scoop.
Yep.
Good time.
We will see you on the next one. Good night.
Good night, everyone.